Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you for joining me once again for tea time. I appreciate you being here. So, I have to say this is an early morning for me. Why? Because I was testing DaVinci Resolve 16 until about 2 a.m. All right, and I'm back here in the studio and it is about 9 a.m. So anyways, it was a long night, but I wanted to test this software out for you guys because you've asked me to do it. And a lot of you have said, listen, I don't want to pay Adobe's lease their software type of program where I'm constantly paying ad nauseum forever. I want to see if there's a program that I can buy that does the job, does it well, and I'm not paying all the time, right? And you guys said, listen, check out DaVinci Resolve. 16 just came out. They did a big announcement over at NAB in Las Vegas. So that was very interesting. So I saw some videos about it and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and do it. Test it out. And I'm going to test it as just a normal guy, someone that's been editing for a long time. I've edited on Linux machines, a ton of Mac machines, and of course on PCs and all different types of software. If you are looking for an expert on DaVinci Resolve, you have not found him and you probably want to move on. But if you want to see a guy, like I said, that's an editor for probably 15, 18 years now or so, I wanted this to really work and it kind of didn't. And I want to show you why. And I want your opinions. And if you are that DaVinci Resolve expert, I want you in the comment area to tell me where I got it wrong. All right. So that I don't delete the software, because as of about 2 a.m., 2:15, I was this close to just hitting delete and just calling it a day. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you guys what happened when I used it so that you might have an idea of what's going on and maybe you'd be able to help me also. So let me start out by saying DaVinci Resolve was made way back by DaVinci Systems in about 2004 in a little city called Coral Springs, Florida. Now, what's interesting is I lived in Coral Springs, Florida for about 20 some years. So they were literally right down the street from me. Then right around 2009, I think it was, they were bought by an Australian company called Magic Design, and that's who owns it as of today. And they've been putting a lot of time and effort into the software for the last 15 plus years. Okay, there's a lot of time that's gone into it since day one to now. So by no means is this a virgin piece of software. It is beta. It is public beta. So it's going to have probably some bugs in it, but they shouldn't be massive bugs considering this software is 15 plus years old, right, guys? It is not brand new to the market by any means. It is basically an iteration, not an innovation. It's not something brand new, okay? They've just added on to it and made some more niceties into it since DaVinci Resolve 15. I also wanted to let you know that they had an incredible setup at the NAB show in Las Vegas. And I was watching some footage from it and a whole bunch of stuff that was going on that looked amazing. If you don't know what the NAB show, it's basically the National Association of Broadcasting. They have this big show, this trade show that happens in Las Vegas. It's just like an expo. Instead of for photography, it is for broadcasting. So you'll see a lot of video stuff, a ton of cameras. It is a very, very big show. A lot of audio. It's just like a tech guy's wet dream. All right. So the NAB show, if you've never been there in Las Vegas during this time of year in April, you need to go. You got to check it out. It is awesome. Awesome. It's like CES, right? So anyways, let me say that this booth and all the videos that I watched, the booth was absolutely amazing. It was 10 times better than what Adobe put together. Instead of them just talking like Adobe was at the booth, they literally had Mac after Mac after Mac after Mac after Mac with the software loaded onto it. And you could just sit down and edit video, which was really cool. That hands-on experience. Very smart, DaVinci or Blackmagic. Very, very smart. Good job. I like that. I like that a lot. And all the video that I saw was just amazing. I'm like, God, these people are editing 4K video and it's just ultra smooth, silky smooth, no crashes, no nothing. That's not what I experienced. Okay. So we're going to get into this right now. Let me tell you what my system setup is, so at least you have an idea of what I'm using. So I'm using an AMD Ryzen 7 1700. This is an 8-core processor that's running at 3.87 gigahertz. It's also running on a water-cooled system by Corsair. So it is ultra cold all the time. I don't care how much you push into it. So we're not going to end up having crashes due to heat. All right. This is a chilly system, so to speak. Anyways, it also has 32 gigs of RAM. It's DDR4 RAM running at 2400. So it's quick RAM. It is good RAM. Matter of fact, the RAM is specifically designed, Flare RAM, I believe it is. It's specifically designed for the AMD Ryzen system, right? So we never have crashes due to that. It's also running on an NVIDIA GTX 1070. So it's got a really good GPU in it. And everything is SSDs. There's no spinning hard drives in the system, all SSDs. So we get an idea of what we're running on here. That's very important. Some people say, oh, well, maybe you're running on a slower machine and it can't handle it. All right, so we're going to do some A/B comparisons between DaVinci Resolve 16 and Adobe's Premiere Pro CC 2019. Apples to apples, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, guys, let's get into it. I'm going to bring you over to my computer right now so you can see what I'm doing. As you can see, we have an untitled project here. We're not going to use that. We're going to make a new one. Why? Because I want an even playing ground, no cached files. Everything is from scratch. That's going to be for Premiere as well as DaVinci. So let's go ahead and open up a new project. We're going to call it Test. So that's good enough. This is basically what you're going to see when you open it up. You have your clips that go here. You have a timeline. It's very simple, straightforward. If you've ever edited before, you know exactly what this looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some files. I'm going to bring in the files from last vlog. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 2 video files and we have an audio file. All right, let me just go ahead and bring in one. We don't need to do multiple. I'm going to bring in one video file. Now it asks me, hey, do you want to change the frame rate? Yes, because this is a 60 FPS piece of video. And once again, this is 1080p. All right, we're not dealing with 4K footage here. All right, this is 1080p. You know what? I'm going to bring in both. Why not? And I'm also going to bring in my audio, but I don't think I'm going to sync that up. Before we get into this, I want to just open up one of these videos just so you can see it playing on the computer itself. So let me go ahead and open this and just, I don't know, scrub to like 1 minute in or something like that. Hit play.
I think it is really important.
So as you can see, this is running silky smooth. There is absolutely no jittering, no problem. And this is 4.1 gigabytes. That's how large this file is. So let me go ahead and hit stop on that. Let me close this and I'm going to drop this onto the timeline. I'm going to hit play and watch. I'm going to move this. I'm going to scrub it to 1 minute so that we're basically in the exact same spot as where we were. Just about right about there. And I'm going to hit play.
And a lot of people said, I don't know if that's right. You know, were they blowing smoke or...
So as you can tell, it's probably running at about 5 frames per second. The video is just choppy, number one. The audio is cutting in and out. It is basically unusable for editing. Absolutely unusable. Now, when you look at all of the video from the NAB show, everything is running silky smooth, right? 4K, silky smooth. What? And they're even doing it on some slower machines just to show how the GPU now is taking over all of this processing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some monitoring software here, just like Task Manager and the Performance Monitor, just to see what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play once again. So we're getting right around 30% CPU usage. And what's worse is only about 8% of the GPU is being used. I don't know why it is not using more of the GPU. I think it should. I mean, this video should not look like this. It should not. This is unusable video. Let me go ahead and hit stop. So some people said, well, you know, you need to go ahead and optimize your files before you start using them. Yeah, we can try that, but I don't have to do that in Premiere. So let's go ahead and head over into Premiere and check it out and see how it works in comparison to this with the exact same file. Let's give this a shot. Once again, we're not going to use a previously created project. We're going to make a new project. We'll call it test. Let me go ahead and put it into a test folder. Here we go, test video, hit select, hit OK. So let's go ahead and grab our footage. Once again, the exact same file. We're going to drag that over. I think we actually dragged in both as well as the audio, even though we didn't use it, just to put something in there. So that's fine. I like that. Now, we're going to take this number 1 and we're going to drag this down here into the timeline. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub over to 1 minute. So we're watching just about the exact same portion of the video, and I'm going to hit play. And there you go.
Just get this discussion going because I think it is really important. I remember doing a video.
Now, as you can see here, guys, it is ultra smooth, silky smooth. This is a 4.1. Let me go ahead and stop on this. This is a 4.1 gigabyte file. Whereas on DaVinci Resolve, it was about ready to choke itself. Okay. Here, Premiere is just running it silky smooth, right? With no problem. I'm not having to do any type of manipulation to the file prior to actually editing. I drop the files in and I start editing immediately. That is very, very important for me. I don't have time to waste for it to create media that it can use. All right. So we dump this in. It works absolutely perfect, flawless, smooth, and we can start editing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to DaVinci and I'm going to do something different. We're looking at a file of 4.1 gigabytes, and we saw that it worked fine in Premiere, but here in DaVinci, it is just dying. It just can't do it. You could just see how it's just jumping at probably about 5 frames per second. So let me hit stop now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load in some different files. Now, when I exported this video for the last vlog, it created this file right here, which is 826 megabytes. All right. So it took that big monster edit that I did and exported it as a brand new MP4, and it was 826 megabytes. So I'm going to drag that in here. Okay. So here it is. Now, let me close this, and we're going to now drag this to the timeline. So now this first clip is 4.1 gigabytes, whereas the second clip has already been edited, which is the entire video from last time, and it is 826 megabytes. So we're looking at a much smaller, at like 25% the size. So let me go ahead and move over into, let's say, about 1 minute, and I'm going to hit play on this one, and let's see how DaVinci does. Soothsayer, you know, some type of person sitting there that's reading the tea leaves behind the scenes, and the bottom line is they really do. So as you can see here, it is once again absolutely abysmal. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It is probably just clipping along at about 5 frames per second. Now, once again, this is an 800 megabyte file. This is not a 4.1 gigabyte file. All right. That's a major, major difference. Okay. And they're both MP4 files. All right. And they're both 1080p, guys. They're not 4K. These are 1080p files. So let's go and do this one better. Let me pull up my files again. Now, let me tell you, after I export my video and I have this 826 megabyte file, to upload it into YouTube at that size just takes a long time, and there's no real reason for it. So what I do is I run it through a program called Handbrake. Handbrake will smash it down. You'll lose a little bit of quality, not too much, but it'll make it even smaller. So if you see this file right here, I called it Handbrake at the end. It is, instead of 826 megabytes, it is 167 megabytes. Let me go ahead and drag that into the clips. And this is it right here. I'm going to drag it onto the timeline. And as you can see, it's the exact same file. It's just crushed. It's smaller. Same length, same duration, same 1080p file, same MP4, just smashed using Handbrake. Now, let's recap here. We have 4.1 gigabytes on this one. We have 826 megabytes on this one. And now we have a video that is 167 megabytes. So let's go onto the timeline a little bit and play some of the video in here. Now, once again, we're now playing the clip that is 167 megabytes. We see Sony with not making very many cameras in the last 15 months, which makes sense, right, guys? That simply makes sense. There's no reason to make, guys, do you see this? This is ridiculous. This is uneditable footage. You can't edit at 5 frames per second. This is a 167 megabyte file and it's choking itself. Now, you know the speed of the system. I mean, this is craziness. This is horrible. Now, let me just say that a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, you need to create, these optimized media files before you use it. Well, why? If I'm not creating optimized media files, all right, with Premiere, why do I need to do it with DaVinci Resolve 16? It just doesn't make sense. I want to just go and edit, guys. I don't have time to mess around. I just need to go and edit. And I really wanted this to work. Now, like I said, if some of you guys are just smarter than I am with DaVinci, please let me know how to fix this. Now, a lot of you guys are going to go ahead and say, hey, you need to make those media files, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Well, I kind of know how to do it. So if we come over here into DaVinci and we hit the little cog here and bring up settings, we go to master settings. If we come down here, it says optimize media format. You see this? And it says render cache, whatnot. If we change this from high quality, basically it's like, let's call this 4K on HQX. Then we have high quality, which will be like 1080p. And then SQ would be the equivalent to like 720p. Let's lower this all the way down to SQ. So we're going to hit save on that. Then we're going to come up here to where it says playback, and we're going to come down to render cache. And this we're going to change from none to user. Okay. So now nothing has been done as of yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this big 4.1 gigabyte file and we're going to click on generate optimized media. It has 0% done so far. It is going to create this optimized media for this specific clip. Now remember, I have 2 of these 4.1 gigabyte clips in the entire video that I did. It's going to take twice this time, let's call it. So as we can see here, it says right around 9-10 minutes remaining, and it keeps fluctuating back and forth. Now it's 11, now it's 9. But what we're going to do is we're going to let this run through, and then as soon as it's done, I'm going to come right back so you don't have to sit here for 10 minutes and watch it, because this is the type of thing that we don't want to happen. When I need to edit video, I need to edit it then, not 10 minutes down the road. Once again, we would have to times this by 2 because we'd have to do both clips. So if this is going to take 10 minutes, it would be 20 minutes to create these media files, these optimized media files. So let's go ahead and let this run, and I'll be right back. It says currently about 9 minutes left. So while this only has probably about 2 minutes left, what I did was I opened up the performance monitor as well as the task manager again while this is generating the optimized media, just to see what is going on in the back end. And once again, we can see the CPU is being hit with about, let's call it 45 to 50% utilization, whereas the GPU is sitting at about 8%, maybe even 5%. Really, really low utilization on the GPU. Now, my understanding, guys, was from the people from the booth that were talking about this. They were saying how the GPU is going to be pummeled, and they're going to do a lot of processing with that GPU to take some of the load off the CPU and make this program faster. I don't see it, guys. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this program, but I'm just telling you what I see, and I'm showing you what I see. And this is a major, major problem. We are now at the tail end of approximately 11 or 12 minutes to generate these optimized media files. Now, this clip was only about a 10 or 11 minute clip. So you're looking at about a 1-to-1 at a conversion. So if we have a 20-minute video, all right, to generate optimized media currently with this setup, we're going to talk about a 1-to-1. So 20 minutes would turn into 20 minutes of a wait time to generate these optimized files. So once this is done, it says it's about 5 seconds left. I'm going to close my task manager and my performance monitor, and we're back here now in the software itself. Now, it is told that it needs to use the optimized files when playing. So let me go ahead and move back the playhead to, let's call it about 1 minute once again, and I'm going to hit play.
In the next 2 years, I believe. And a lot of people said, I don't know if that's right.
Now, guys, I told it to use optimized files, and this is what it's doing. It is not playing silky smooth. It is choppy. So let's go ahead and hit stop and see if there's anything that we've done wrong here. So under playback, as you can see here, we have checkmark, use optimized media if available. Obviously, the optimized media is available, all right, because we just created it. So why that's doing what it's doing, I really don't know. So obviously something's not right here, either with me, my process, or my knowledge, let's say, with the program, or possibly with the program itself. Like we said, it is a beta software. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter here. The point of the matter is even if this ran now silky smooth and I was able to edit, we would still have to waste 20 minutes to create these optimized media files for 20 minutes of video. That is horrendous. A lot of times when folks use programs like this for, let's say, a wedding, and they literally have like 4 hours of footage or more, you're looking at 4+ hours of downtime while DaVinci goes and creates these optimized media files before you can even start. That is a major, major problem in comparison to Premiere, whereas you just dump a 4 gig file in its face and it just starts playing it silky smooth, just like nothing. Doesn't even bother. And I do the same thing with 4K. I throw that into Premiere Pro and I play it with my current setup. And as you can see, it's not a low-end setup. It's a water-cooled, fast, high-end 3.8, almost 4.0 gigahertz machine. All right. So what is going on here with DaVinci? I don't know. Do I like it? The software itself looks cool. It looks nice, but it's not usable for me. Now, let me tell you also, I sent in a couple of error reports into Blackmagic last night, right around 1:30, because I kept on getting problems with the software. I would load in, literally when I installed the program, I loaded in these files onto the timeline, and within 30 seconds, it crashed. So I sent in a couple of reports because I want them to be aware of it so they can fix it, obviously, since this is a beta version. Once again, to come full circle, I hate to use the word beta where this is software that's 15 years old. It's not beta. They've added some niceties into it. They've supposedly, let's say, used the GPU more effectively, which we obviously didn't see here in the real world results. But they did this, and they've added these small iterations to a program that's been around for a long time. That being said, I don't like to call it beta. This is prime time software. 15-year-old software is prime time software. I don't care how you look at it. Anyways, guys, this is my findings. Please, if you are a DaVinci professional, okay, if you know this software in and out, and I've done something wrong here, okay, please tell me, all right? In the comment area, let me know what I did wrong. I want to fix it. I want to change it. And hopefully, I would love to use the software because I like it. It looks fantastic. But as it is right now, I can't use it. Once again, we tried putting on the timeline a 4.1 gigabyte clip, an 800 megabyte clip, as well as a 167 megabyte clip. The exact same clip, just crushed down using Handbrake, and still DaVinci couldn't even play the 167 megabyte file clip. Big problem. So guys, please, like I said, any information that you have, please put it in the comment area below. We want to have this discussion. A lot of people like you do not want to pay Adobe's, let's call it lease, for their software every month. They want to be able to buy a package and use it. And at $299, this really looked like something fantastic. But honestly, as it sits right now, I could not recommend it. And like I said, I am this close to deleting it, but I'm not going to delete it until I hear from you. Anyways, if you enjoyed this content, as always, please throw me a big thumbs up. That would be awesome. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available, and click the bell icon so when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That would be awesome. I really appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by. Thank you so very much. I look forward to talking to you in the comment area below. That's it, guys. I'm out of here. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.